Today, we're going to break down a really powerful science-backed technique that lets you take back control of your emotional reactions. It's all about choosing how you respond instead of, getting hijacked by your past. All right, let's get right into it. You know those moments, right? Some small comment, a tiny little event happens, and bam, you're hit with this huge wave of emotion that just feels way, way too big for the situation. And you're kind of left standing there thinking, why on earth did I act like that? So the real question becomes, was that a genuine warning sign, or was it just a ghost from your past ringing a false alarm? And this right here is the heart of the problem. See, a trigger is all about the past. It's an old memory that's making you feel anxious or angry right now. But a gut feeling? That's your intuition talking about the present. So the very first step to getting back in the driver's seat is learning how to tell these two apart. To really get why this happens, we need to take a quick trip inside your brain's filing system, because it turns out not all memories are created equal, and some of them are running a program in the background that you're not even aware of. So here's the key. Your brain has something called implicit memories. Now, unlike a regular memory you can just recall, these are stored in the feeling part of your brain, and you can't consciously access them. They basically act like these pre-programmed safety alarms. And when a current sight or a sound or even a smell matches an old one, that alarm just goes off. It creates a physical sensation. Your heart races, you get a knot in your stomach, and it's screaming at you that you're in danger, even when you're perfectly safe. And this quote just captures what happens next so perfectly. The second that alarm gets triggered, your adult self gets temporarily pushed aside. A younger version of you literally steps into the driver's seat, and they're equipped with only the thoughts, beliefs, and coping skills they had at that age. Okay, so let's break down this sequence. It all starts with a simple cue. Maybe your partner just turns their phone over. That's it. But that action activates that old implicit memory, and suddenly the younger you has taken over. You might lash out, you might shut down, you're doing whatever you needed to do back then to feel safe. And then, just as quickly as it started, the moment passes, your adult brain comes back online, and you're left totally baffled by your own behavior. So that's the problem. But here's the really, really exciting part. You don't have to spend years digging through your past to fix this. There's actually a way to hit the off switch on these triggers right in the moment they happen. Yep, that's right, 90 seconds. Research actually shows you have this tiny window, about 60 to 90 seconds, from the moment a trigger starts firing to jump in and completely rewire that response. It's an incredibly short amount of time, but guess what? It's all you need. Now, the fancy scientific term for this is memory reconsolidation, but all that really means is it's the brain's natural way of updating old information. The trick is to introduce a feeling of safety right when that old memory is active. This sends a powerful new message to your brain that says, hey, that old threat is gone. You are safe now. And the brain basically goes, oh, okay, and refiles the memory, not as an active threat, but as a harmless past event. So, how do you actually do this? Well, the technique doesn't involve trying to force a happy thought when you're in a panic. No, instead, it uses your own body to generate that safety signal instantly. I mean, think about it. If you were being chased by a lion, you wouldn't stop, lean back, and sigh, right? You do that after the threat is gone. So this technique literally hijacks that primitive physical signal to tell your brain the danger is over, even when the danger is just a memory playing out. Okay, here's exactly how you do it. It's so simple. The moment you feel that trigger start, you just lean your body forward. Then you look up at a light and you blink a few times. This creates this sensory mismatch that kind of confuses the brain and breaks its focus on that old memory. And finally, you let out a big, deep sigh to signal the all clear. And that's it. In just a few seconds, you've interrupted that old pathway and brought your adult brain right back in charge. So what's the whole point of flipping the switch? What's the end game? Well, it's about living your life from the present moment, as the person you are today. Seriously, every single time you switch off one of these old automatic alarms, you are reclaiming your power of choice. You get to respond to whatever's happening with the full wisdom and experience of your adult self, instead of being bossed around by the fears of a younger you. And the benefits of this are just huge. You stop reacting and you start responding. You build stronger, more trusting relationships because you're not projecting old hurts onto new people. You break those cycles of self-sabotage, and you finally start making choices that actually align with who you want to be. It's about living intentionally. And this brings us all the way back to our original question. How do you tell the difference between a trigger and a true gut feeling? Well, now you have a tool. The next time you feel that unease, flip the switch. If that feeling just vanishes, you know it was just an echo, a memory. But if it's still there, calm, clear, and persistent, that might just be your intuition telling you to pay attention. And what a powerful thing to finally know for sure.